everyone, nice to see you all. Hey, hope you're all doing well. How is everyone? How is everyone on this fine Sunday evening? Hope you're all doing well wherever you're watching, currently in Australia or around the world. Nice to see you all in the chat there. Looking forward to tonight's stream and topic, which is a really important one: how to convince your significant other or even yourself to buy a Tesla. And for those who already own a Tesla, tonight is a night to teach everyone else how you manage to do that, how you manage to convince yourself or others to buy your current Tesla. I'm looking forward to learning from you, and I'm sure many others are as well tonight. So let's get through the chat. And by the way, we've got a poll tonight as well, so have a look in the live chat box. Tonight's poll: before I buy/bought my Tesla, I need/had to convince myself, my other half, convince, take my wallet. So they're the three options for you guys tonight to choose from. All right, so let's get through the chat box. So if you're watching live, yes, make sure you do leave a comment in the chat box tonight. And of course, tell me where you're watching from as always. And tonight's question, of course, is how did you convince yourself or your partner that you needed to buy a Tesla? Very simple question. You can put as many reasons as you like. Give us your top 5, top 10, whatever you want. Fill the chat box full of messages, because that is probably one of the most common comments I get in my YouTube videos, as well as just in real life when I talk to people. How do I convince my significant other that I need to buy this car? All right, so tonight is a night to learn from everyone. And of course, if you do want to support myself and the YouTube channel, there's a few ways to do that tonight. You can purchase a super chat message or comment. As the night goes on, more and more people watch, more and more comments fly. So if you want your comment to be noticed, or if you just want to support the channel, leave a super chat message or comment. And think about also buying a channel membership package. We've got several options, which I'll go through in 1 second. And of course, anonymously support us through PayPal at Tesla Tom. That's one way to do so. Let me just quickly pull up the membership options for you guys to have a quick look before we get into the topic tonight. So here we are. So that is my membership options at the moment. So if I scroll down here, there are 3 options for Ludicrous Feed's membership plans. We've got standard range, long range, and performance. Start from $3.99. All membership options get loyalty badges and exclusive emojis. You might have seen some of the emojis already in the live chat box. And depending which option you choose, you get shout-outs during live streams, priority replies during the live streams when there's lots of comments, and exclusive member-only polls as well for performance members. So check out that join button you can see in the video description box there, or just under the video. You'll see the join button, and you'll see all the options available for you there. All right, guys, so that's membership options for Tesla Tom's Ludicrous Feed. There we go. All right, so those of you who've just joined us, we are talking about how to convince our significant other, or even ourselves, that we need a Tesla in the garage or in the carport, or just to drive around. Let's get into the live chat box. So here we go. We've got George. Hi, George. Nice to see you there. Excited for tonight. Yes, hope we all learn. Ray, one of our members. Hey, Ray, nice to see you. Nice to see you there. Hello, Steve. Beheaded, hello there. One of our regulars. Nice to see you there. And yes, hello, Jeff. Nice to see you. Indeed, another day, another drive, another spotting Teslas everywhere. That's fantastic. Hi, Louise. Nice to see you there from Sydney. Nice to see you. I see what you did there. Good evening. I love it. Love it. Thank you, Louise. Lovely. And Ray is asking, more to the point, how do you convince to upgrade to the Cybertruck quad motor from dual motor? Yep. Good question there. Let's talk about that tonight as well. Yes, there is now a quad motor option for this Cybertruck there. Sammy. Evening from Canberra. Hello there, Sammy. Nice to see you there. And Steve is saying, I have 7 weeks to wait for mine. Long time. Yes, so that's that'll bring you into the new year, I believe, Steve, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be a nice New Year's present for you. Absolutely. Outback EV. Hey, hi there. Nice to see you there from Central Australia. Cool. About to purchase a Tesla, but we'll need to convince my partner D. Okay, well, here we go. Let's help out Aro tonight. Let's tell Aro tips on how to convince him to buy a Tesla, or his partner to buy a Tesla. I guess I should probably ask you, dear Aro, what roadblocks have you come across? Like, what is stopping you guys from buying a Tesla? Or what is D concerned about? And maybe we can go from there. Riz, hey Riz, nice to see you there, using some of my emojis there. That's good. Hi Riz, nice to see you, one of our members. Hello from summery Melbourne. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are getting some sunshine there. That's awesome. Aaron, evening Tom, taking delivery of our Model 3P tomorrow. Fantastic, congratulations. Good luck with the delivery. I'm sure you'll be enjoying it from tomorrow onward. And yeah, did you need to convince yourself or your partner to buy the Tesla? Let us know. Derek Ma, first time catching the live stream. Hey Derek, nice to see you. First time live watcher, long time watcher. Thank you very much, Derek. Nice to see you there. Andrew Barrett made a bet if we spot a non-white Model 3 in Brisbane on a day trip, I wouldn't buy a Tesla. Ordered a red long range 2 weeks ago. Fantastic. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So yeah, obviously lots of white Teslas around the traps. Fantastic. Snows from Adelaide. Awesome. Nice to see you there, Snows. David ordered a 3 rear-wheel drive Saturday, 2nd of December. Now for the long wait. Yeah, probably next year, right? Steve Bond says safety. Yes. Very safe cars indeed. Yes, absolutely right. Brad Johnson. Brado in Newey here. Hey, Brad, nice to see you tonight. Welcome, welcome. Brad's also one of our members. Samson. Oh, yeah. I will make money from it. Yep. Assuming you're going to put it on EV or some sort of car sharing platform there, Samson. Let us know. Yeah, Tesla fanboy. Imagine buying Tesla from Tesla stock. Yeah, you probably could if you invested, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was when the share price was so low. That's awesome. Here we go. Riz, awesome stuff. David, exciting times. Lots to learn and accessories to order before the car gets here. Yes, 100%, 100%. I almost got one from stock. Unfortunately, they sold it before I could finance. Oh, okay, stock. You're talking about like inventory cars, right? Okay, gotcha. I think I thought someone was referring to the Tesla stock as in the shares. Hey, Max, nice to see you there. Thank you, Jez, for the $4 donation to help with my 6-car Tesla garage. Every little bit helps. Thank you very much, Jez. All right, Louise. Thank you, Louise. Here we go. Buying an EV was part of our overall plan, which was to get solar panels, storage, battery, and then EV to run from the solar panels. That's fantastic, right? Obviously, trying to be sustainable, all those kind of things. That's great. Very good. I guess I should share my story. I used to own a diesel SUV, and it was basically making the whole family sick. When I parked it in the garage or any enclosed space, it would just fill the air with fumes and smoke, and yeah, basically my family are basically all asthmatics, and it triggered off the asthma. So yeah, look, diesel obviously is a bit more smelly, but petrol was doing the same thing. So I figured I could either go back and buy a quote-unquote more fuel-efficient car, or think about buying an EV. So that's how I convinced myself. And yeah, and Joy, my wife was easy enough to convince as well. She said, yes, makes sense, helps with our family's health. And that's, yeah, no looking back from there. Louise continues to say, I had my heart set on the Nissan Leaf, but choosing the Tesla was a no-brainer once I saw the chassis in Martin Place. Yes, absolutely. It was designed ground up as an EV. Yes, I'll get on to that in 1 second. About being ground up, you open the bonnet of other manufacturers and the insides look the same as an ICE. Tesla was refreshing, innovating, no servicing, nothing to go wrong. Yeah, I guess we should also expand the topic as to how to convince yourself and others to buy a Tesla over an EV. Like, right? Buying an EV is good enough, I guess, but how do you take that step up and make that Tesla stretch and buy a Tesla over another EV? I think that's certainly another conversation for sure, and we'll certainly pop into that as well. Derek says, hello from Brisbane, new time dad, and waiting on the Model Y. Yep, another 2 weeks. Absolutely right. Absolutely. Samson's from Dubai. Hey, Samson, nice to see you there. Wow. Tesla fanboy. Well, same here, using stock to buy Model Y and maybe Cybertruck. Yep. That's great, Ray. And yep, I now realize I misunderstood your comment about stock. I thought you meant inventory. Yep. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, both kind of mean the same thing. Samson, yes, on EV or Tesla taxi in Brisbane. Yep, that's in regards to how to make money. Yep, from the Tesla. And yes, Revenge said, still waiting on the Y. Yep, absolutely right. Yes, we are. Yep. Let's have a look at the poll. Got 43 votes already. Fantastic. Let's have a look. We've got, of the 43 votes, 26% of people are saying that they need to convince, or they had to convince themselves to buy a Tesla, or in order to buy a Tesla. Almost 40% of you are saying you need to convince your other half, whether it be your partner, husband, wife, significant other. And 36% is basically saying, nope, take my wallet, already bought it, put an order, whatever, easy enough. That's good. So I guess the majority still need some sort of convincing, or needed some sort of convincing, whereas 40%, 35% are saying yes, it was easy enough to make that decision. So thank you guys and girls for voting. I'll keep that poll open all night. So yeah, certainly make your vote. No, and sorry about the sniffing. The weather the last few weeks has just been atrocious here in Sydney, and yeah, my allergies do play up when it's hot and cold and windy and whatnot. So I apologise if I keep sniffing off on the camera there, but I will try to keep drinking. So hopefully that will disappear soon. Okay, so Andy, it's going to be interesting to see how our charging infrastructure holds up during this upcoming school holiday. Yes, someone was concerned actually. One of my friends was going to drive up the coast of New South Wales, and they were actually going to leave their Tesla behind and use their ICE car. And I said, why? And they were concerned about how busy the charges were going to be. And I said, well, yes, the only way to find out is to test it, right? And so I strongly suggest that he try to bring his Model 3 up the coast. I mean, I have made the trip to Byron Bay from Sydney. We did that on the long weekend. Pre-COVID, admittedly, that was 2 years ago. Possibly less cars, I guess, on the road. But yeah, I don't think we waited once on the road trip. So yeah, I do strongly recommend trying the chargers out. And yeah, that's all you need to do. And then that way you'll know for sure. I mean, there's plenty of superchargers and third-party chargers now up and down the Pacific Highway and even the New England Highway in New South Wales. Ray says, efficiency is the determining factor for a Tesla over other EVs and the tech. Yes, absolutely. And I also dare say, Ray, that with a Tesla, you obviously get access to the supercharging network and the third-party network, so plenty of chargers out there. And I guess for me personally, it's a ground-up EV. It's been built from scratch as an EV. It's not a slap-on battery to an existing ICE design. The company Tesla is full-on, basically all in on EVs. They're going to make sure to help you as a customer. They really want it to work. And I've certainly heard stories from other manufacturers, other than Tesla, with regards to service and things. But yeah, I've had very little issues with the Tesla service. So yeah, obviously I can strongly recommend that. I'm obviously biased as well. Long range arrives on the 21st. 8 months of watching YouTube on Teslas. Had my wife eventually say, just get one as long as you stop talking on the living room TV. Love it. Okay, so that's one way to do it, I guess. That's the long game. Basically keep talking about it until your significant other gets sick of it. I love it. And has anyone else tried that, by the way? Just talking about Tesla until they get sick of it. That's actually a pretty funny strategy. Max Gill, my youngest boy ordered a Model 3 about 2 weeks ago. When do they supply the VIN number? I guess when the ship arrives, Max. Certainly do recommend touching base with Vita Prime. Yeah, he'll let you know about that stuff. But yeah, the VIN number comes quite late in the piece, just before delivery. When the ship arrives, the next batch arrives. Wet Noodle. What do you think of e-bikes and cargo e-bikes? Yeah, e-bikes are cool. I've got one at home. Yeah, it's only thing I can say about e-bikes is it's a bit heavy. It's you're looking at about 20 kilos for an e-bike, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, good exercise, and makes hills very easy to use. Makes short work of hills. Gosh, didn't come out right. Yes, it's very easy on hills. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Riz, I considered a MG ZS EV as my second EV, but the range left it a bit to be desired for, so ended up with a Model 3 SR Plus. Yes, 2-day delivery. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, the range is probably okay if you don't drive much, but for me personally, I think 200 is probably not enough for me. Just on road trips, I probably need something a bit more. I reckon personally, I need at least 350 to 400 for an EV before I feel comfortable about range anxiety issues. Jeff says, I used to worry about the delay in delivery timelines, but happy that each month wait provides a new and better update for the car. That's also very true. Just like the recent bunch of deliveries, unicorn Model 3s, right? More range and better acceleration. So there you go. It does happen. Model Y will also be a big hit here. Yes, absolutely. That's correct. Jezza, hi from Young. Yes, wanting the 2022 Model 3. Wife still needs convincing. Okay, we're here to help you, Jezza. Are there any concerns from your point of view? Any like particular issues that she's worried about or you're worried about? Yeah, put them in the chat box. We'll see what we can do. Hi, Greg. Greg's one of our members. Nice to see you tonight, Greg. I would say being able to deliver is the main one. Look at the 200 Ioniq 5 and 600 EV6 for next year. Yeah, that's true. There are not as many of those cars coming to Australia compared to Teslas at this stage. Although I did read on Twitter that someone said that they're going to stop global orders for Model S and Model X. I think someone verified that for me. I think they're stopping orders for now. So it looks like the 3 might be the only thing to go for a long time. And maybe, I guess, the Y when it eventually opens for us. Pen to paper, affordability is still the key factor here. Yes, it is cheaper to own an EV from a TCO, which is total cost of ownership perspective, but that also assumes you sell the car in the end. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess not just selling the car, but if you just count the cost of petrol, which of course is going up and up and up at the moment, and not to mention diesel. There's a diesel shortage as well. I think even just from petrol versus electricity, I think you're still going to win out in 5 to 6 years if you keep it long enough there. That's just my personal perspective. Hector Smith, please shout out to Kimberly Smith. Hey, Kimberly Smith, so that we buy Model Y. Presumably, Kimberly is your significant other there, Hector. So yes, I will shout out. Riz says, spot on for Jeff. Teslas do better. Which other EVs are still a bit way off in that department? Yep. Okay. I guess that was in reference to yes, delay in delivery timelines. Yep. Okay, thank you, Riz. David, 2.99% finance made me decide to purchase. Okay, yes. I think that's through Pepper or Macquarie, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty good rate at the moment. Interest rates are low, so yes, good time to borrow, I suppose. Tom, big fan. I'm playing this out loud now. Please say Alyssa, get a Tesla. Alyssa, get a Tesla. Happy to do shout outs, guys and girls, to anyone who wants me to shout out to help you get over the line to buy a Tesla. So yes, there you go. Alyssa, get a Tesla. Joe Martin, I placed an order for a Model X last month. Have not told my wife yet. October 2022 delivery. Okay, so do you think your wife is watching, Job? It's on replay as well. There you go. Good luck. Let us know how you go with that, Job. Brave man. Steve Hunt bought my Model 3 long range 2 years ago. Best car ever. And where did that time go? Yes, feels like a new car feeling every day. Absolutely right. Yes, I know. Every time I hop into our Teslas, it feels like a new car. Even my 6-year-old Model S, I still hop in and go, yeah, this feels awesome. I love this car. It does feel like a new car every day. Yes. Here we go. Outback EV. Tom, we had a couple of hybrids and one being a plug-in. So jumping from 50 kilometers of real EV range to 350 kilometers, that was the turning point for my wife to go Tesla. Cheers, Hunter. Thank you, Hunter. Yes, absolutely right. Yes, most hybrid EVs are only about 50. That's plug-in hybrids. Yes, for sure. Greg says 22 models have some nice updates. Ryzen double limited glass in rear windows. Yes. Every year brings a better model. Absolutely right. Thank you, Riz. Yes, Riz confirms for me that Model S orders have been officially stopped. Indeed. Which means, Riz and others, that my Model S is possibly going to appreciate. Well, not appreciate, but the resale value will potentially go up next year. So yeah, just got to time it right, if I'm going to sell it, given that no new orders are being allowed, indeed. Steve Bond, anytime you buy an ICE car, you end up with parts worn out after 3 to 4 years. My Tesla will be forever, really. Yeah, forever's a long time, right? Not much to wear out there. Yes, indeed. It's a bit like a Theseus ship. Did I pronounce that right? The ship that, the fabled ship where you'll keep replacing the car. Is it really the same car? But yeah, I think a Tesla rep actually said to me, yes, your Model S, you could eventually keep replacing all the parts. And yeah, it'll be basically perpetual. Unfortunately, I still can't add the hardware-free computer for full self-driving for the Tesla Model S. So I guess that's one reason to sell to and keep the Model 3, which has the hardware 3, I guess. Yes, Riz, that's true. I've seen the email sent to existing Model S customers. Yes. Why didn't I get one? I'm an existing Model S customer. Okay, Derek says, both myself and my wife still need some convincing. I know I want a Tesla, but I catch the train to work and feel guilty leaving at the station. Secondhand market is not much different than you. Yeah, that's so true, right? And that's, I guess, good for us owners. Not so good for guys and girls looking for a secondhand Tesla. Yeah, the secondhand market is it's expensive at the moment, not just for Teslas, but for all used cars, given the supply issues around the world. Yeah, I mean, I guess leaving the Tesla at the train station. Does anyone do that at the moment? Does anyone leave their Tesla, their baby, at a commuter car park? How do you feel about that? Is it safe? That's a good point. Could you drive to work, given that it's emissions free? Have you got a parking spot now? Yeah, that's one way to get around it. Greg's saying save your cash, wait a few years. Yeah, I suppose if you wait a couple of years, as Greg says, the second-hand market will drop. Good point. Riz says, best way to do it is ask for forgiveness later. Yeah, well, I'm not going to condone one way or another. Some people like to do that. Ask for permission later. What's the old saying? It's better to ask for permission later than forgive. Sorry, better to ask for forgiveness later than permission up front. Yeah. Does anyone subscribe to that, by the way? It works sometimes. I wouldn't say it works every time. Jeff says, how can your significant other say no when it comes to as a present? It comes as a present. I see. Right. Nice one, Jeff. Yes. It's like, yes, here's a present, darling. Here's a car for you. It's a Tesla. There we go. Samson, do you know what's the demand like for Tesla rentals from EV or Tesla Taxi? Yeah, I'm in touch with Slava pretty regularly from EV, and I can tell you that, yeah, the fleet is strong. And yeah, people look for cars all the time. I mean, there are certain segments of the market, like in certain capital cities, where there's always a demand for rentals. So, yeah, I mean, the easiest way is probably just to speak to Slava himself from EV, send an email to him. He'll talk to you about it. Ray is saying it's $861 per month. I think if spending $150 to $150 per week for petrol, I think most will stretch to $215 per week for a Model 3 SR Plus. That's a very good point. For a bit more money, you've got a Tesla that requires basically much less in electricity than petrol. Possibly even free if you can charge from shopping centers if you want. If you can get to a shopping center regularly. Yeah. Tesla fanboy, did you get your M1 Max MacBook Pro? Can you show it? Yes. Yes, I did get my M1 Max MacBook Pro. It's a bit complicated to show you because everything is basically rigged up to it, like the monitor, the Ethernet cables. So if I pick it up and show you, there's a high risk I could disconnect everything and the stream could be kaput. So sorry, I can't show it to you, but I can assure you I'm very happy with it, and the stream has worked wonderfully over the last few weeks. And yes, no regrets at all. Very happy with the MacBook Pro, indeed. Let's have a look at the poll. So we've got 54 votes, 45 minutes in, and we've got 24% saying they had to convince themselves to buy a Tesla. 35% of people are saying they still need to convince, or had to convince their other half. Very nice. And 42% of people are saying, convince, take my wallet. So obviously didn't need much convincing at all. There you go. That's nice, guys and girls. Thanks for voting. So we've got the majority of people still saying they need to convince themselves or others they need to buy a Tesla. Well, I guess let me just think of other ways you can talk to your significant other about buying a Tesla. Let me just put the banner on tonight for people who have just tuned in. So, of course, we are talking Teslas, as always, or not always, but often. Tonight, I want you to tell me where you're watching from, and a question we are asking is, how did you convince yourself or others, or your significant other, or your partner, that you needed a Tesla? So we are asking that question tonight. I guess we can broaden the question a little bit more, not just Tesla, but how do you convince your partner that you need to buy an EV as your next vehicle and not stick with an ICE car upgrade, I guess. The other thing too, I guess to broaden the question even more, is how do you convince yourself and others that you need a Tesla over another EV? I'm happy to share the story that Joy, when she bought a Model 3, she was potentially looking at an I-Pace. First of all, I guess it's more expensive over a Tesla Model 3. And secondly, the charging network is not as good for I-Pace or any other EVs at this stage. The Tesla supercharger network is still far and away the best network in Australia. Servicing is great, obviously. It's a ground-up EV company. They'll look after you. They want to make sure it works. They're not, your time is not being split in two or not even two, but like the majority of the company you're dealing with, their money is being made from ICE cars. That for me always rings alarm bells. I want to go to a company that is all in on EVs, that will definitely look after you. They want to make the company work, and I guess that's where Tesla, comes in ahead of the others with that frame of mind. What else can I say? The tech. The tech is just phenomenal in the Tesla. Some people don't like that fact that it's so complicated. Well, not complicated, but it's that it's basically an iPad on wheels. For me, it feels simple. It's easy to drive. It's very intuitive, and no buttons. I like the minimalistic look. So that's a few reasons to choose a Tesla over an ICE car or even another EV for your next vehicle. That's 4 reasons already. And please keep putting your comments in the chat there. We've got lots of people here tuning in, I'm sure, tonight to find some suggestions from you, the Tesla owner, how you convinced yourself or your other significant other before you bought your Tesla. Yes, thanks, Beheaded. I just answered that, so thank you. We did require some convincing. Joe, back on, yes, buying a Tesla without asking. It's not a present. I'm buying it with my money. It gets complicated if I get her involved. I'm pretty sure she would like it after I get the car. Well done, Joe. Fantastic. Good work. Performance, Jay, I will have my M3P delivery next Tuesday, and fantastic. Hopefully it has AMD chip in it. Okay, we shall see. Let us know, by the way, if it does. Peter. Hi, Peter. Nice to see you. Oh, Job's from Baltimore. Hey, Baltimore. Sunday morning, okay. Nice to have you on there, Joe. Thanks for joining in tonight. Yes, Ray, good point. I think if you can remind people that if you have a full tank every morning with an EV and don't have to panic about fuel and getting it to a servo in the morning if running low. Great point, Ray. And I can tell you now that my driveway is complete and we are able to charge the Teslas finally from the garage. And it's a lovely feeling to have that again. That I can wake up in the morning with, maybe not full tank for me because I've got the Fremont Teslas, but at least 80%, which is more than enough every morning. So 80% charge every morning. And I never have to worry or plan for the rest of the day for my normal commute. I don't have to plan, should I go to the servo today or tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever it is. I can just come home and charge, and the next day, it's like Groundhog Day. I've got 80% again. So thanks, Ray. Fantastic point. Indeed, that's another point to get a Tesla. The String Stalker. I'm in a planning stage for the next 2 years until my daughter gets her license and takes over my car. Okay. How did you do the sums to ensure the best way forward? Okay, so I reckon the best way to do this, so let me read this again. So Daughter gets a license, takes over my car. Okay, so I would probably get a spreadsheet and look at the total cost of ownership, take into account things like insurance, rego, petrol costs, maintenance, resale value, and then see whether it's worth it for you. I'm sure it will be. So even probably just wait, I guess. You don't need to have it now if you don't want the car now. But obviously in a couple of years' time there'll be a better Tesla on the market or improved in some way. So yeah, see how you go. But I would probably get a spreadsheet and do all those sums and see whether it's worth it. Greg Wilson, mobile rangers in regional areas for service and issues. Yes, there are more roles listed, so they are expanding it. That's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to see more mobile rangers if they're not going to have more service centers or showrooms in non-capital cities. By the way, mobile rangers in capital cities are fantastic. I've had them come out to my place a couple of times, and yeah, it's so good. They can do most things actually on your driveway, and sometimes even diagnose it over the air from the showroom, from the service center. So how good's that? And they can text you and tell you over the phone what's going on. Yeah, I think mobile service is the way to go. Absolutely right. Aaron Cox, hubby to wife. Can I have a Tesla? No. Can I have a Tesla? No. Can I have a Tesla? Paused in response before using other language other than the word no. Great. Thanks, darling. You won't regret it. Okay. That's one way to do it. I have solar installed and a battery to be installed soon. That's great. Excellent. Great to hear, String Stalker. Peter McGuigan, love the show. Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining. So at about 60% parking in a charged Fox Bay, is this currently? And coming back to a fully charged car after watching a movie is a great feeling. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're talking about just in general? Like, yes, that's right. Charging and then going to get something to eat or drink, I guess. Coming back. Oh, watching a movie. Oh, right. Okay, so you must obviously be in a slower charger. Because, yeah, being in a destination charger, being in a supercharger, or a fast charger is too quick for a movie. But yes, you're right. For a slower charger, like a Type 2 destination charger or a AC charger, yes, absolutely right. Or even going shopping. What else? Going for a meal. Like a 2-hour charge is just perfect for a meal, movie, shopping. 100%. 100%. I tried to use the petrol station thing for my wife. The wife's reply was, I get you to fill it up, so no difference. Oh, yeah. Good response too, by the way, from the wife. Well played. Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it? Can't use that argument sometimes. Here we go. 65 votes. 65 votes for the question or the poll tonight. Before I buy/bought my Tesla, I had to convince myself. 24% of you said myself. 35% of you said my other half. And 41% said, take my wallet. So there's, of the three options, 41% have already said they didn't need any convincing. They just did it. Good on you. But 35 plus 24. So 59% of you said you or your other half still needs some sort of convincing to buy a Tesla. So yes, we still need to help the majority of viewers tonight on what to say to get them over the line to buy a Tesla. Let's keep the chat going. So tell me what else, what other blocks have you come across when trying to convince your significant other that you need to buy a Tesla? Maybe we can help you with specific examples. Otherwise, we'll just keep talking generally, I guess. What about cost? Is cost an issue for people? Is the EV incentives helping in some states like New South Wales? Like in New South Wales, you can get a Tesla Model 3 White now for $59,000. Is that enough to get you over the line? It's pretty good value. For that money, you can buy, like a Merc, I guess. Or even a BMW. So apples with apples, like you're going to get much better total cost of ownership with a Tesla Model 3 for under $60,000 with the incentives. No stamp duty, $3,000 incentive as well to buy the EV, to buy the Tesla. So yeah, the cost is, that's coming down. what else can I say? Preconditioning is really helpful in summer. So you're parking your car in the sun to do something, go shopping or whatever, and then come back. Just before you come back to the car, you can get on the app and turn the aircon on straight away. And yeah, you come back to a cool car. So that's something else that's useful. No petrol. No petrol is great. I love it. Not having to go to the petrol station. I just give the petrol station a quick giggle when I drive past it, when it's like $1.90 now for E10. Who knows how much it is for premium, unleaded, or super, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't have to think about going to the petrol station, as Ray, one of our members, said earlier. There you go. So lots of reasons there not to buy an ICE car as your next vehicle. Go Tesla or EV. Let's go through some more comments here. Greg is saying, I filled our ICE car on the weekend, and boy, the price just keeps on rising. Once it hit $120, I knew it would be replaced with the Y, Model 3 and Y in our household. $120 for a full tank of petrol. That is ridiculous. What kind of car is it, Greg? What kind of ICE car? I mean, I would assume that's like an SUV or something big, right? Like $120. Like the last time I filled up a petrol car, Joy had a Mazda CX-5. Like, I think it was 70 at the time, like back in 2019 when I last filled up that car. And back then I thought, wow, this is expensive. But to go over $100 a week, like, seriously, you're just throwing money. I just can't even. Ray, tell them it's the safest car on earth. It will protect your kids more than any other. Absolutely right. Thank you, Ray. That's great. Yes, it's ANCAP ratings, 5 stars, all cars. It's a really safe car, absolutely. Aiden164, I get the Tesla Model 3 long range. She gets a new bathroom fit out. Everyone wins. Oh, Aiden, you've just brought up a new topic there. Yes, if you cannot convince your significant other, you need to strike a deal. You need to trade there. You need to find something that he or she wants, so that you are sitting in a Tesla for your daily commute. New bathroom, new kitchen. What else? What else can we say? New handbag, new whatever, new set of tools, new shed, new man cave. I don't know. A new bed, new wardrobe, new shoes, anything. Get whatever you need to do. Like, life is full of compromises. Strike a deal. And then, if you have struck a deal to get a Tesla, put that in the chat there. Let me know what you've done. That's hilarious. Good stuff, Aiden. Good comment there. Greg, just take your partner on a test drive and get them to drive it first. Also test drive the P. Within 5 minutes, I'm sure your partner will be convinced. Yeah. Is that a concern? It's just not powerful enough. I have to admit, before I got into a Tesla, the only other / quote unquote EV I've driven was the Prius. And I had, well, not even driven, I sat in was the Prius, and I was concerned about the power, whether it was powerful enough to get up. There's a really high hill up in my area, whether enough to get up the hill. But as soon as I test drove the Tesla Model S back in 2016, I thought, no way, my concerns are unwarranted. It's got plenty of power, plenty of oomph. It'll get you anywhere, basically. Yeah. So thanks, Greg. That's good. And obviously check out ev.com.au. Use my coupon code there. You'll get $30 off your first rental. And easiest way is just to rent it for a day or two. You'll be hooked. You won't go back. Riz says the price does cost to buy an ICE car is a lot higher, more expensive to service, wait times are longer for most models, and then there is fuel. Excellent suggestions there. Excellent points, Riz. So cost is higher. I guess total cost of ownership is always higher with an ICE car. More expensive to service. Yeah, don't forget that. Do not forget service, guys and girls. Like, how expensive is servicing, right? They always say it's like, this X amount of money, and then you go in there and then they go, oh, we need to buy this, you need to buy this and that and top up this and that. Ends up costing you a fortune each time. So you don't have, there is no servicing schedule for the Tesla. You only service when you need to. And that, my friends, is enough reason for me alone not to ever get back into a nice car. There you go. Peter. Hi, Tom. Thanks for the show. Question, when do you make your final payment for your Model 3 when you order online? You make the payment when you are about to take delivery. So I did actually see a tweet or something or even on LinkedIn, that they're going to smooth out the delivery over the year, like in the future. Or, don't know when they're going to start that, but historically, like we've had boatloads of Tesla come into the country just to make each quarter look better. But I think they're not going to be as concerned anymore. They're just going to keep sending them regularly. I'm not sure that applies to Australia, but certainly in Australia at the moment, they tend to come at the end of each quarter to make the quarters look better, like the financial figures look better. So you'll make payment when you're about to take delivery. And if you follow any of us on Twitter, anyone significant, I guess, or even Vita Prime, he's a good one to follow. He'll always tweet when the boats are coming. And that's when you know your ship is probably, your car is probably on that ship. And that's when you make payment. Good question though. Thank you, Peter. Wife's company car, no Tesla, all PHEVs, call company, negotiate. Got them to agree to an SR Plus. Good on you. Well done, Max. 6 months later it arrived. Got company to install chargers. Now 2 months later, free fuel. How good is that? That's fantastic, Max. I won't ask you which company it was unless you want to volunteer that information, but that's really good. You know, maybe even send me an email as to how you managed to negotiate with your company. What points did you use? Because I do get asked that a lot. How do I make my company see the light, basically, and change the fleet over to EVs? So great point, Max. Well done. Free fuel from your company. That's so good. Beheaded. Less money to charge versus filling up with petrol. Much lower servicing costs. Absolutely. And if your partner likes figures and facts, then draw out that spreadsheet. Look at the total cost of ownership. Absolutely. So you'll always find that it's cheaper in the long run to own a Tesla or an EV over a nice car. Thanks, Riz. Yes, final invoice is sent by Tesla. Yes, correct. Wife has just about given up on a Model Y in the next 12 months. Don't give up yet, Max. Don't. We're so close. I reckon once Berlin opens up, early 2022, hopefully. There's just a bit of red tape they need to get through. Our orders will open up. Like I'm so confident it will open up soon, because once Berlin opens, then they can start production in Europe, and then the Shanghai Gigafactory can start producing cars for the rest of the right-hand drive market. So don't just get through Christmas, New Year, Australia Day. We'll see. Let's do it. Daniel Evans, I could never justify a new car until I decided, I wanted a Tesla. My wife was just happy. After 10 years, I was agreeing to buy new. Yeah, to be honest, I think our Model 3 was the first time I've ever bought a brand new car. So, and look, as we've seen now, the used car market is still pretty high, right? Still pretty buoyant, so hasn't appreciated that much just yet. So there you go. I reckon, you're right. Tesla's probably the only company at this stage I would buy a brand new car for, not a nice car. My wife is not ecstatic at the potential or prospect of $95,000 for a Model Y long range in white vegan leather. I'm hoping it won't be higher in Australia. 95k. Let me just look at, think about my pricing. I don't think it'll be that much. I don't think so. I think it'll be, we'll see. I think it might be closer to 90, maybe even high 80s for a Model Y. I mean, you might have to pay a bit more for vegan leather or any other color, but don't know. We'll see. We'll revisit that in the new year once we've got a bit more data from other markets. Okay, Snows, just an FYI, Tesla now have a third finance option. Okay. In Australia called Plenty, who didn't know they needed to send out paperwork, so payment was early for South Australia. Thus missed my delivery window, was then pushed out. Oh, okay. That's no good. Did you send that feedback back to Tesla? Because that's very disappointing that they didn't do that. Because, I guess Macquarie and Pepper know that paperwork needs to be sent out pretty early. Well, not early, but before delivery. So that is disappointing. Ray's got more information on petrol. So $1.40 per litre here. Sorry, $1.40 per litre here on a 65 litre tank. $91 for a full tank on an Outlander that gets 500 kilometers. Okay, that's a PHEV, I assume, Ray. So we're looking at, so let's just say the long range Model Y, real world range about 500. So I always say it's about 1/2 to 1/3 the cost of an equivalent ICE vehicle with an equivalent range. So if you've got a long range Model 3 that can get you 500 k's of real world range, then you're probably going to be paying about $30 to $40 in electricity at a supercharger for that much of range, and probably less at home because you pay less for electricity. So there you go. That's for anyone wondering about cost of electricity to run your EV. So Greg's back on his car that he's paid a lot of money for petrol. So yes, SUV, $1.95. Oh my goodness, per litre. 65 litre tank. Model 3 is pretty much free, so we have 12 kilowatts of solar. Yeah, absolutely right. So there you go. The more solar and batteries you have at home, then the cheaper it is for you. Greg, that's expensive, isn't it? Yeah, $1.95. So Greg says it's an Audi Q5. Okay. Here we go, Andy. Yes, more information on petrol at the moment. So yeah, hammer home the fact that petrol is so expensive. If that's what your partner is interested in, it's expensive. Petrol is expensive at the moment, and I don't think there's any going back. Look at this, like my Forester Turbo full tank, 60 litres, require minimum 95 petrol. Yes, at $2 per litre, it would be $120 for a full tank, is what Greg says. I feel you're right. I got the feels right there, Andy. $120 for a full tank is painful. So $120 per week. How much is that per year? Let's get my calculatrix out. Quackulator. Come on, calculator. So $120 times 52. $6,240 in petrol. That is nuts. Per annum. Per annum. Ouch. Why was my comment jumped? Oh, was it? Did someone moderate Max? Don't know. It's an Audi service at a premium also. Yes, that's true. Expensive. Those luxury car brands with servicing. Absolutely. Dennis is driving Tesla instead of ICE, saving baby seals. Mrs. convinced after a test drive. Yeah. Push the environmental aspect. Absolutely right. Absolutely, yes. It's a cleaner car after years. I mean, obviously there are some emissions in producing the Tesla for the batteries and things, but over time, the car gets cleaner, the grid gets cleaner using solar. Over time, it's just a cleaner car. Absolutely. Jonathan Francois says, we are saving for both a house and a Tesla Model 3 SR Plus. What would you get first? That's a tough question. I might open up to the chat here. What are we going to talk about, guys? What do we suggest for Jonathan? Should we get him to buy a house first or a Tesla Model 3? Can you buy both? Is there any provision for both? If you're going to get a mortgage, just add a bit more, like add another 70 grand or 60 grand for a base. Yeah, why not? Why not do both? Thank you, Hitesh. Yes, spot on ICE servicing costs. Thanks, Kevin. Welcome. I think Kevin's from Florida. Nice to see you, Kevin. Warwick is doing maintenance himself on all current cars. I don't want to have to start paying to maintain warranty with ICE brands. Yep. Thank you, Warwick. Curtis McKenzie, Tesla told me I should order if I wanted my car before March 22. Now they tell me my car is ready in December, but I want to push my delivery date back. Will I lose my deposit? I think deposit's only $150, right? Chat to them. I think you can push your delivery back because then your car will just end up being in an inventory car. You probably could. Have a chat with them. Yes, SR Plus name has been dropped. It's now called the base, like no name Model 3. Just Model 3 is the base car. Okay, Max Goodman. Thank you, Max. Brief version, convincing company. Thank you. PHEVs, bad idea. Complex, expensive. Employees rarely actually charge them. Correct. Leasing costs less. No servicing needed. Shows company cares about the environment. Love it. Love it. Yes. We can say now my company is, yes, cares for the environment. We've got Teslas. We are, what's the word? I'm trying to get out here. Sustainable. Yes, we're sustainable. We've got electric vehicles. Push that line, whoever wants to change the fleet of their company cars. Great one. The fuel, Derek, this is bravo. The fuel price fluctuation is giving me more anxiety than range anxiety. Maybe the same for some other people. Absolutely, 100%. I've said this before in previous videos. Like seeing petrol being controlled by an external force outside your control it gives me anxiety. Like I previously driving an ICE vehicle, couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand that you drive to one petrol station and then across the road it's like a different price, or once you've topped up, go down the road and it's another price again. It's frustrating. Whereas at home, your electricity price is your electricity price. What you've controlled, what you've paid for, what you've bargained for. That's all you pay for at home. So yeah, that's actually a really good point, Derek. And yeah, 100%. Great point. Thank you. Curtis Riz says, Curtis Mackenzie's comment, yes, the demand is really high at the moment. Also a bit of a delay in Berlin Gigafactory production. Yes, correct. That's why the Y is being delayed in Australia. Yes. People are saying house. Greg saying house. Ray saying house. Max saying house. Smart decision would be a house. Aaron saying house. Okay. There we go. You might have your answer there. Who was that asked that question? Jonathan asked about house versus Tesla. Yes, obviously the heart wants the house. Wants the car, but yes, obviously head wants the house. Obviously, house is probably going to appreciate more over time, particularly in capital cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, I would say. Particularly in Sydney. Sydney house prices are crazy at the moment. Sachin, anyone looking forward to the Genesis Electric GV70? Genesis say they're launching in April, May in Australia. I can tell you, Sachin, that that Hyundai have said to me they were going to loan me that car when it arrives for a review, like I did a review for the Ioniq 5. So yes, stay tuned, subscribe, and yes, you guys will be the first to find out what it's like to drive that car for a week. Hey Gaffer, Gaffer's one of our members. Nice to have you on tonight, Gaffer. Wow, just back now. You guys are still going. I have a lot of back watching to do. Yes, and yes, Gaffer, keep those comments coming. Really appreciate it. There are a lot of people watching tonight, I think, trying to get ideas on how to convince their partners or the significant others to buy a Tesla. Because I can see here in the votes, we've had 82 votes. Wow, that's awesome. 82 votes. And the question tonight I was asking is, before I buy/bought a Tesla, I need/had to convince. And 29% of you said myself. 34% of you said my other half. And 37% said convince. Take my wallet. So over half of you still needed some convincing to get yourselves over the line to get a Tesla in your possession. So that's why I think it's been good to have the stream tonight to get some ideas from all of you. Great work. Teslas will get a heap better in the next 5 to 10 years, so there's no rush to get one. Get one when you're ready. Great, very sage advice there, Greg. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't condone like going to debt for a Tesla, obviously. Like, just buy a car when you're ready. You know, obviously there's finance options there, but, you know, make sure you can repay that money easily, or if not easily, but within reasonable means. And yeah, I mean, cars are never going to appreciate, right? It's not an appreciating asset as much as some of the fanboys and girls will say. I, for one, will tell you it's generally not an appreciating asset as much as I love our cars. Just accept the fact that it's a vehicle. Ultimately, it will depreciate over time. So yeah, make sure you see it for what it is. It's a toy, a very fancy toy, a fun toy nonetheless. And yeah, that's all it is. It's a great vehicle to drive. It does make me a happy person driving it. It's like any other toy or hobby. It's for fun. And yeah, see it as it is. If you can afford it, go for it. Yeah, that's my advice to you right now. Riz says deposit in Australia has gone up to $350. Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you, Riz. I thought it was $150, but there you go. $350 deposit in Australia now. Gaffer says, I saved for a decade to buy a Model 3 Performance. Good on you, Gaffer. That's fantastic. Yeah. If you don't want to go for credit, then have some money ready to go, like Gaffer did. And yes, when he started, it was an S. So yes, back in the day, S's were expensive, as they still are, but they were the only option and probably out of reach for a lot of people. But now a Model 3 is $60,000 in New South Wales with the incentives. So there you go. It's very affordable now. People are saying house still. Roadhouse. High Tesh in Australia. Is the 8 to 12 weeks for Model 3 still realistic, or would it be delayed? I'm hearing March 22 at the moment. So as I said before, they tend to try and deliver cars before end of each quarter. So if you order now, I suspect you'll probably get it around that time, around February to March. Saturn, thanks for confirming. I was waiting for the Model Y, but the Genesis is one sleek looking vehicle. Yeah, it does look good. And the ICE GV70 has been popular. Warwick. Wife hasn't test driven yet, but worried she'll be put off by blinker stalk on non-Australian standard size. Have you found this an issue? Let me read this again. So worried about the blinker stalk on non-Australian. Okay, so you're worried about it being. Okay, so because it flicks and then flicks back up. Is that what you mean? Yes. Okay. Well, yes and no. I don't often drive. Wait, I don't drive our Model 3 as often as I do my Model S. My Model S is got the Mercedes style blinker where you flick it down, it stays down before you turn. Once you turn, it flicks back up. But yes, on the 3, you flick it, indicator comes on, but it automatically flicks back up. It's like a spring that flicks back up. You've just got to basically push it a bit harder. It takes like probably a day to get used to, not even that. So, but that's a good point though. That's a good point. And yeah, like a lot of things on the 3, it doesn't take long to get used to. Like the blinker stalk, the fact that there's no display or instrument cluster behind the wheel, that took me probably a day or 2 to get used to. But then again, I'm fairly adaptable generally. I like to think so anyway. The speedometer is very close to your line of vision, just to the left of the steering wheel in a right-hand drive. So, you know, it's very easy to get used to. What else? What else can I say? It's otherwise, yeah, it feels like any other car really. The acceleration is quick, so you can if you don't like that, you can put it into chill mode. The regen braking takes probably a few days to get used to. Again, you can turn that off if you like. You can set regen to standard or low. There's probably about a dozen things to get used to overall in the 3, but once you do, it's like you think, wow, how did I not have these things before? And then you go back to driving a nice car and it's just rubbish. Yeah, I said it. There you go. Doesn't take long. Peter's saying Tesla first, save on petrol. Yes, save on petrol. Petrol is expensive. Thoughts to obtain a Tesla is buy shares, hold, and use as leverage to buy a Tesla vehicle. Yeah. I guess when is a good time to pull the trigger to sell? I guess that's the question. Yeah, if you bought Tesla shares a year ago, particularly during when the pandemic first hit back in March 2020, I think shares dropped to like $100 pre-split. That was a great time to buy. Should have bought more. Then yeah, you'd be laughing right now for sure. Steve says, I ordered Model 3 long range last week for $150. Deliveries 8 to 12 weeks. Yeah, so I think Riz said it has gone up very recently. So there you go. You got a good time to put a deposit there, Steve. Well done. Max. Okay, so this is reference to the blinker. Okay, so a lot of European cars, as Greg says, the blinker is on the left. Correct. Yep, blinkers are on the left. Correct. Farmer says, I was researching to buy a Tesla, ended up putting the lot into TSLA. Now I am looking to buy a Tesla following a land sale. Okay, cool. Well done. Cool. I had the Model Y22 Model 3 with the newer motor uses the rear-wheel drive motor from the long range. Is that correct? Can somebody confirm that? Okay, Gaffer. My main advice is to get an EV. I love Tesla, but it doesn't have to be that. More important to migrate from ICE to EV. Yes, very true. You'll save in the long run, and it's better for everyone. So yeah, I think. I mean, obviously tonight's title was how to convince your partner to buy a Tesla, but you could very easily, any of these arguments could certainly translate over to just an EV in general. It could be more controversial if I do a stream on buying a Tesla over an EV. Might be getting some more fired up comments from others, but yeah, I mean, yes, you can certainly apply any of these comments and arguments to any electric vehicle currently on the market. So yes, thank you, Gaffer. Great stuff. All right, everyone, we've hit the hour mark, so I might just finish the poll there, and then we can go through the result. And yeah, obviously, if you're watching on replay, thanks for getting so far, and even live. Thanks for staying with me to the end. We've had lots of suggestions here. So yeah, if you come back to this video if you have managed to convince your partner with any of our any of our suggestions tonight, whether it helped, because if that helped, put that in the comments later on, and that might help someone else to use that comment too. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for commenting tonight. We've had so many suggestions, so really good. Oh, Andy S has got one more question. Are you going somewhere this holiday, Tom? If so, would love to watch the trip report. Yes, we are doing a bit of a road trip, I think next week. So not this coming week, but the week after. So there won't be a stream next Sunday because I will be off somewhere. So I won't tell you where yet. It's actually a promotion for one of my viewers who has an Airbnb somewhere in regional New South Wales that I will go and review. And that person has a Zappy on site as well. So I will disclose all that in the upcoming video. So yes, there'll be a road trip very shortly. So yes, stay tuned, subscribe. That will be coming up. All right, let's have a look at the poll report before I finish up. So we had 91 votes. Fantastic. The question was, before I bought a Tesla, my Tesla, I had to convince 30% of you said myself, 32% said my other half, and 36% said convince. Take my wallet. So almost split into three there on how they had to convince, who they had to convince to buy a Tesla. The highest result was still no convincing needed. But still, more than 50% of you said that they had to convince themselves or their other half. So I'm glad you found this. I'm glad you found this stream useful, because it looks like there's still a lot of people out there still need to convince someone in the family or even themselves before they take the plunge to buy a Tesla. That's so good. Oh, Greg's got one more point. Horsham has been upgraded to 3 V3 superchargers. Awesome. It had 2 in the originally, so that's good. Thank you, Greg. Great work, and you're welcome, Ray. That's thanks for joining us tonight. All right, everyone. I'll just finish up tonight, I guess. It's been lovely having you all on tonight to talk about how to convince your partner to buy a Tesla. And yeah, thank you to everyone who has contributed to the stream tonight. It's been really quite enlightening. Yeah, I've learnt a lot myself, and some great points have been added to the chat. So let's put the outro on. There you go. Thanks everyone. You've been great as usual. Live chat there. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you all have a great week coming up. And yeah, I'll see you at the next stream. I think I might do one on Thursday, we'll see. But certainly no stream on Sunday. As I said, I will be on holiday somewhere. But yeah, I'll do what I can in December and January, of course, with a bit more time off work. Otherwise, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. And as always, happy charging.